Hello, students. It's teacher Ingrid here once again. Welcome back to the Learning Nest. Our lesson is solving linear equations, and the objective is to solve simple linear equations. Today, these are only simple ones, simple linear equations, basic equations, and in the coming videos, we will be solving more complicated ones or more challenging linear equations. So what is an equation? Why equations? Why do we have to study equations? An equation is a statement that asserts the equality of two expressions which are connected by the equal sign. So we knew already about expressions. If we see two expressions which are connected by an equal sign, then that is called an equation. So why do we study equations? Equations are useful to solve our daily life problems. That's why in the coming videos also, we will be talking more about real life problems, which involves linear equations, and how to solve these problems using the concept of linear equation. Okay, let's start to solve simple linear equation. So number one, x plus 5 equals negative 2. Remember that an equation has two sides, the left side and the right side. And keep in mind that the center is the equal sign. So an equation has to be balanced all the time. That's why whatever we do on the left, we got to do the same on the right side of the equation. So let's start. So our goal here is to find the value of x. Okay? So probably some of you have already figured out what's the answer here. But in this case, let's learn how to solve a linear equation in a systematic way so that in the future, when you will be encountering fractions in a linear equation, it will not be difficult for you to solve the equation. So our goal is to separate x on one side of the equation. So x should be equal to a certain value. Right. So in this example, x plus 5 is on the left and negative 2 is on the right. As I was saying, x should only be the 1 on the left. So we don't need plus 5 here. So we don't need this plus 5. So to get rid of plus 5 or 5, we just have to subtract 5. So minus 5 on the left, minus 5 on the right. We have to follow the rule to keep the equation balanced. Whatever we do on the left, we got to do the same on the right. And then let's proceed to solving it. So plus 5 minus 5 or adding opposite signs is just 0. So that is 0. We don't have to write 0. So what we have left here is the x because we already canceled out 5 minus 5, 0. And then negative 2 minus 5 is equal to, of course, negative 7. So I hope you already practiced your minus or subtraction of integers or addition of integers. So you can solve this straight away. Okay, so x equals negative 7 means to say that the value of x here is negative 7. So how can we be sure that it is correct? So we will do the checking. So when we check, we need to prove that the left and the right are equal or have the same values. Okay, so our right is negative 2. So first, let's copy the original equation. X plus 5 is equal to negative 2. So x here will be replaced with negative 7 because the value of x we found out it's negative 7. So negative 7 plus 5 is equal to negative 2. So that is the question. So is negative 7 plus 5 also negative 2? Of course. So negative 2 equals negative 2. So now we found out that the left and the right are having the same values. So then we can conclude that negative 7 is a correct answer. Okay, let's try number 2. X minus 3 equals 7. So again, we have to separate x, so we don't need negative 3 here. So if we don't negative 3, if we don't need it, we just add 3. Okay, we will add 3 both sides. Whatever we do on the left, we got to do the same on the right. And then proceed. Negative 3 plus 3 cancelled out. So what is left here? Sorry. So what is left here is x. So equals 7 plus 3 is just 10. So meaning x is equal to 10. So let's do the checking by using the original equation. X minus 3 equals 7 and 10 is our x. So 10 minus 3 is equal to 7. Yes, 7 is equal to 7. So we have the same values for the left and the right of the equation. So then we can say that 10 is really the answer of this equation. Okay, let's have number 3 now. So the given is 3x equals 24. So in this case, we will apply different property of equality. So if you notice, 3x means multiplication. So 3 times a number equals 24. So if this is multiplication, we need to do something. So remember that the opposite of addition is subtraction, and the other way around. The opposite of minus is plus. Sorry. The opposite of minus is plus. So the opposite of multiplication is divide, and the opposite of division is multiplication. So we need just to have to apply the opposites to get the value of our variable here. So here, 3 times x. 3 times a number equals 24. So since this is multiplication, so we need to divide so that we can get rid of the numerical coefficient. So divide both sides by 3, whatever the numerical coefficient of the variable, just divide that number, and we need to do it both sides to keep the equation balanced. So 3 divided by 3 is just 1, right? So, and 1 times x is just x. So 24 divided by 3 is equal to 8. So that's why we have x equals 8. So let's do the checking now. So let's use 3x equals 24. And then we will substitute x in our, 8 in our x. So 3 times 8. Is it equal to 24? Is it? Of course, yes. So 24 is equal to 24. So then we can conclude that our answer 8 is correct. Okay, next one, number 4. Number 4 is negative 7x equals 28. So again, this is multiplications. Negative 7 times a number equals 28. So let's apply the division property of equality. So we divide, okay, let me just change the color. So negative 7 divided by negative 7, both sides, negative 7. So then we can cancel out negative 7. divided by negative 7 is just equal to 1, and 1x is equal to x, and then x is equal to 28 divided by negative 7, that is equal to negative 4. So the value of x is negative 4. So let's do the checking by using the original equation, negative 7x equals 28. So we will replace our x with negative 4. So this will be negative 7 times negative 4. Is it equal to 28? Is negative 7 times negative 4 equal to 28? Of course, yes. Now we have shown that the left and the right side of the equation in our checking are the same. Then we can conclude that negative 4 is a correct answer. Okay, so let's have number 5. In this case, we have fraction here. I just want to revise with you multiplication of fraction. Okay, so if we have here, for example, 2/5 times 3/5, we will only multiply numerator by numerator and multiply denominator by denominator. So the answer will be 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 5 is 25. So the answer is 6 over 25. So I want you to observe this one. If we have, for example, 2/5 times 5 halves. So we know that 5 halves times 2/5, 5 halves is just a reciprocal of 2/5. So if we're going to multiply them, 2 times 5 is 10, and 5 times 2 as well is 10. And 10 divided by 10 is 1. So that will give us a 1 as an answer. Same with if I have here 1, or let's say 6/8 times 8/6. The same thing, it will give us 48 over 48, and 48 divided by 48 will give us 1. So if you multiply reciprocals, any reciprocal will give us an answer of 1 if we multiply them. So we will apply the same concept here. We need to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of 2/3, which is 3 halves. Both sides. Because 2/3 times 3 halves times 2/3 is just equal to 1, right? And 1x is just x. And negative 4 times 3 is negative 12 over, okay, there's no denominator here, 1, so 1 times 2 is 2. To simplify, negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. Let's do the checking. So to check, we need to copy the original equation, which is 2/3 x is equal to negative 4. And we will replace x with negative 6. So we have 2/3 times negative 6. Is it equal to negative 4? So 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And 3 times 1 here is just 3. So is it equal to negative 4? Of course, negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. So negative 4 is equal to negative 4. So we have shown that the left and the right side of the equation in the checking part, they are the same. So we can conclude that negative 6 is the correct answer. So in this video, we have learned that to solve linear equation, simple linear equation, we applied the addition property of equality, okay, subtraction property of equality, multiplication property of equality, and division property of equality. In my next video, I will be giving you exercises, so please follow, subscribe, so you won't miss any parts of my lesson, especially about algebra. So see you and thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe. Bye.